Do you understand where your money is going and how it's getting taxed now or in the future? This is something that a lot of people overlook or just frankly don't understand or are not educated. And so today I want to go over understanding any type of income or where you put that money to grow one way or the other. It gets taxed in different methods. And I'm going to go through those three different methods and why all of them are important and how it can affect you down the road. And so what we're looking at here are three buckets. And the first bucket stands for tax now. Second bucket stands for tax later. Third bucket stands for tax free. And so I'm not going to go through all the vehicles in here, but think of, in the tax now bucket, think of bank, like your bank account. Tax later is going to be something like a 401k or an IRA, for example. So maybe retirement. And then the last tax-free bucket, think of like a Roth IRA, for example. Just a different way to tax maybe some of your retirement accounts. And so the idea is actually not one bucket's better than the other. If we could put all of our money in the tax-free, obviously we would want to, I would think. But the government doesn't let us, and maybe it's not as beneficial as well. And so the idea is actually to have all three of these buckets work together. Because when we become retired or get to a point where we become financially free and have passive income, well, it's coming from one of these three buckets. And so would we rather have our money come from all one bucket, two buckets, or all three? I bet you're thinking all three. And here's why. So if we need a certain dollar amount when we become retired or financially free, and maybe it's 200, maybe it's 300, maybe it's 500,000 for the year, if we are able to pull from all three of these buckets instead of one or two of these buckets, two things happen. Number one, we get to dictate what maybe our tax exposure looks like to a certain degree. And then number two, we are now hitting on something that a lot of retirees or pre-retirees have a concern for, outliving their money. And so now we can make sure that we have options where our money will outlast us.